What to do. So this what happened, man. My bad. So I went to a training program on Vermont and Wilshire called the JVS SoCal program. It's pretty much free schooling for about 2 months, and they taught me the skills that I know right now. Now, at the end of the program, they give you job placement. They set you up with about 10 interviews during graduation, okay, via Zoom. Now, I interviewed with some of the best companies to get employed by for these particular skills that I learned for this trade. I didn't get employed by any of those people that I interviewed with, so I decided to work at crypto.com, the stadium downtown. So I kept on thinking and plotting and planning and strategizing on how I could make my way into the industry because I had already interviewed with maybe six people outside of this, understanding that because I had this training, this was a great name, this was a great representation of this industry. I interviewed with about six people and I got hired probably three times. I got hired once in K Town, once in downtown, and I want to say, I can't remember the last place, but I believe it was on the east side of Los Angeles. None of them people actually called me back to do the onboarding process so I could actually start work. So I'm not about to wait on these people. I started working with through a gig app called Blue Crew, right? So eventually I got a couple hits through temp agencies. Now these were both temp to hire. One, they let me work like 3 days and then they didn't call me back. Now this other one, this was a company in Hollywood. I'm not gonna say their name, but they were actually rocking with me, man. They let me go to work every day. I showed up every day on time. I showed up before the managers even showed up. So I'm waiting outside 30 minutes, eating my breakfast, smoking my cigarette. Manager shows up. I'm working from 8 to 5, go home. It's cool. Now, this is a temporary agency, but the actual company, the manager, the hiring manager, the supervisor, he didn't really like me, but he saw I was willing to learn. He saw I was hungry for knowledge. There was only one thing that was holding me back. I needed to have my license. I needed to be able to go from one location to the other. These are beautiful, apartment complexes. They had flowers outside of all the locations. There were some big names that stayed in these apartments. One of them I met. I can't say her name, but let's just say she reminded me of Selena. We'll say it like that. But anyway, I'm working there for about 2 months, and the guy that was training me headed to the restroom. Now, mind you, during this whole 2 months, I'm still giving my resume out to different people because I want to have a permanent position. Also, at this time, I didn't understand how difficult it would be for me to obtain my license. So, there was a specific company that I wanted to work for. Okay, they could be held very highly as far as the reputation, as far as the size, as far as the benefits. This is one of the best companies that you could work for as far as property management. This was the goal, to actually get a permanent job and not have to put in all this effort and then end up not even being able to be permanent at this specific company. The guy, I'm gonna just call him Jake. The guy Jake who wanted me to be hired on said that he couldn't hire me without having a license and some form of vehicle, and if I couldn't get a vehicle immediately, they could give me a vehicle after a month. Bet. It's gonna take me at least 6 months to get my license at this point, or so I thought. So he didn't want me to have to wait 6 months to get my license. He wanted to hire me immediately. So I was thinking, okay, we could just thug it out, get the money, save my money, get the experience, learn. And while I am doing that, I can look for a permanent position that doesn't require me to have my license. So different properties downtown, different properties on the east side, different properties on the west side where I don't have to drive from location to location. So we go to Home Depot one day, and I knew it was something to it, bro. The guy that was training me went to the restroom, and I get a call. I answered. He said, "Hello, is this Aaron Hister?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, man, I got your resume, and I really want to interview you. Can you come in to interview on a Monday or a Tuesday?" We chopped it up. I asked him about the requirements for the position. I said, "Man, that sounds perfect. And you guys are one of the companies that I was really trying to work for." And he said, "Yeah, that's real cool, man." And I said, "Look, now I'm working at a temp agency right now. They're looking to hire me, but nothing in life is guaranteed. You do know that I don't have any experience, so you're going to have to train me from the ground up. You're going to have to teach me everything. Even though I did do this schooling, it was only about 60 days. I don't have that much infield work, so I've been training with this school for 60 days, and I've been with this company for 60 days. So I only have about 120 days worth of experience." And he said, "That shouldn't be a problem." And I said, "All right, cool. But, I don't want to accept this interview because if I have to take a day off within the first, less than 90 days that I've been with this company, there's a possibility that I could lose my job. So what's the likelihood of me getting hired?" And he said, "Man, that's not a problem. We're looking for people who, you know, just want to learn." And I said, "Bet." I clocked the interview for Monday, and I'm feeling good. The guy comes back from the restroom, and everything's up from there. Now, this is like a Thursday I want to say it's Thursday, right? Thursday, end of the day comes, Friday. Next day, I tell Jake, "Hey, Jake, I'm not going to be able to come in on Monday because I have a doctor's appointment." And he made this face. He started rolling his eye. He was like, "Yeah, whatever, man. That's cool. That's what's up. Just make sure you text it to me or whatever, and just remind me." And I was just thinking, like, why are you acting like that? And that should have been my sign. Now, one of my teachers, Miss Denise from the JBS SoCal program, she told me that when you work in this industry, you have to be cool. You can't be all sloppy because this is a very small industry. Pretty much everybody knows everybody. I didn't really take that into account. So fast forward to Monday. I go to the interview Monday. I put on the color of the shirt that represents these people because I did my homework. I did my homework on the building. I did my homework on what I should say, the things that I should be asking. And my interview skills are already elite at this point. They've always been, pretty much. I'm a well-spoken person, and I'm pretty personable, very charismatic. I know to make jokes and feel likable and just make things comfortable. So I go there, The guy was like 10 minutes late. He was handling some things. Now, immediately, he takes me up to one of the units to show me what things will look like. He's giving me a tour of the property. This is a huge property. Now, he started asking me a few questions. If this gets clogged or if this happens, what do you think you should do? And I gave the answer that I thought I was that was most appropriate. He said, that's not what you would do, but you would do this. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, have you ever seen one of these before? And I was like, no, I haven't because we haven't been trained to use these things, and I've never seen those before. Well, this comes standard in all our units, and da 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 da. This is the newest technology, and I was like, well, I wasn't trained in the newest technology because I was taught that every complex, every property has their own special technology. These are luxury apartments, so it would make sense that I don't know how to do those things because I wasn't trained to do whatever the case may be. So we did our rounds, walked through the apartment, had conversation about the job and life. So we get to the end of the interview, the end of the tour, and he says, "You know what, man? I appreciate your hunger to learn. I understand, that you really want to start working in a permanent position, and I like you, man. I think you're a good guy, but I think I'm just looking for somebody with a little bit more experience." And I was like, well, I can learn these things. I understand the basics. The things that you showed me were things that were more so unique to your building. And I don't have any problem with being trained as long as you have patience and train me properly. I think I would be a great fit. And then I gave him, the little elevator speech, just running it down, giving him all my skills. And he was like, I'm not sure. I said, look, bro, I'm a nerd. I'm not a regular guy. All I do is read. Most of the content that I listen to and watch is not for entertainment purposes. It's for education. I'm still a sponge-minded individual. So whatever you need me to learn, you can give me homework, you can give me assignments. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna learn what you need me to learn. And this guy made this face like as if he was thinking about it. And he was like, you know what? I feel you, bro. I get it. I'll let you know my decision by tomorrow. But I definitely understand. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm walking to the bus stop. The bus stop is probably 10-minute walk. Before I get to the bus stop, this man sent me an email talking about unfortunately, we decided to go with another candidate. But thank you for wasting your motherfucking time coming over here. And I know you could have got fired, but I'm a bitch ass nigga. So, anyways. And I was like, damn, this nigga sent me an email rejecting me within 15 minutes. And then, guess what happened? I got on the bus. The bus ride is about maybe it's less than 20 minutes from there to the crib. Then I get an email. No, excuse me, not an email. I get a text from the temporary agency that I'm employed through. And guess what that text says? Your assignment with the company so and so has ended. So I'm like, damn, I just lost my job because this bitch ass nigga wanted to play and interview me knowing that there was a large possibility that I could lose my job. Now, I do want to say this. In certain industries, they're required to have a certain amount of interviews a month or a year. They have to fill a quota. They have to have a certain amount of interviews and they have to send those numbers to corporate to make sure that they're still desirable and to make sure their marketing is still, going the budget that they have for marketing is still going to the right places. Okay? So he had no intentions of hiring me at all. Never, ever, once. And I mean, of course, it's very obvious that Jake had got into contact with him because, or maybe even vice versa. Dude probably got into contact with Jake, which was the supervisor, and they were trying to put me through some test or really just give them a reason to let me go for whatever reason. I don't know and I don't want to know. But that was, that company actually paid me more than I work right now. And I was devastated. I was devastated because I took a chance to actually secure a permanent position and not be working for a temp agency basically. And I end up losing that job. I end up losing my job. Now, fast forward about 3 weeks later. Okay, this is the bright side of things. Fast forward about 3 weeks later, I got, I went on LinkedIn because I didn't want to give up because at this point, I started working at, the crypto stadium again. I started working at the Staples Center again. And what happened was they had a job fair at this building with that same company with the weird ass nigga that brought me in to interview me that made me lose my fucking job. They had a job fair and I showed up here. And it was the same thing, pretty much. You know, everybody was looking for people with experience for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and I got rejected over and over. And I did 3 interviews. And before I left, one of the people that I interviewed with previously while I was in school, she recognized me because, I'm just a beautiful person, physically, emotionally, mentally, everything, but financially. You get me? So she said, Aaron, you know what? I think there's one more person that wants to interview you because they're actually looking for somebody to start working at this particular property. And I was like, for real? That's a blessing. And then, I interviewed with them. It lasted about 5 minutes, and they hired a nigga at the same company that the guy worked at the property that got me fired from my job. So I end up getting blessed by that same company. Now, even though I did gamble and I knew I weighed my options, I could either pass up the opportunity and keep working at this job that I have right now, or I could risk getting fired. And I risk getting fired because this fuck nigga set me up to lose, but then I end up working for that same company that put me in this position when I have a newborn baby. My son wasn't even maybe I think he was like 6 months at the time. And I was jobless because of you, because you want to play games. You could have destroyed my life playing them games. But anyways, yeah, that's how I got fired from my job, man. That's how I got fired from that job, the highest paying job that I've ever had in the industry that I actually got training for because people wanted to play with people. And the thing about it is, oh, you know what? One of the places that I was supposed to get hired was Hollywood. One was downtown, and one was Koreatown. I know I was supposed to work. They told me I was gonna receive my letter of approval or what have you Yeah, I was supposed to work there in Hollywood. It was about a mile and a half from Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It was walking distance from there. The other place was in Koreatown. They told me I was supposed to work. I don't even want to say the cross streets because you'll be able to find that. It was a big ass property. And the other one downtown, I don't even want to say that. But anyways, man, if you want something, man, determination, dedication, and hard work is important. Don't gamble with your life because I was just so I had one itis for this particular company. Even though it might not be the best, I still got the job that I wanted in the position that I wanted in the company that I wanted. But that was a gamble. I put my child's life at risk. I put my life at risk. I put my girlfriend's life at risk. And there is a famine in the land for employment in Los Angeles, especially for people that don't have any skills or for people that's not that don't have a lot of experience or people that don't have any kind of education. So if you have something, I'm not trying to scare you, but you should probably be appreciative, have tolerance and patience for what you do, because there's a scarcity of jobs in Los Angeles, bro. I got lucky, and everybody's not lucky like me. God doesn't love you how He loves me. He loves you just as much, but He loves you just a little different. Okay, so don't do what Aaron Moses did, because you might not. There were other things in place, and I took certain precautions and I put certain energy out there to be able to get what I got. It was very magical and it was very black. We'll just say it like that. But it is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, with the bang together, man. Life is in the breath. Tap your neighbor and say, breathe it in. Peace. Change.